Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Learning with AK. In this episode I'm going to be wrapping up the Creative Commons thread that I started a few episodes ago, and I am going to be talking about collections and remixes. Collections and remixes represent two ends of a spectrum of what you can do with CC licensed works. And there is a lot of gray area depending on how you do certain things. But the two sort of ends of the spectrum are represented by collections and remixes. So, what do you think when somebody says the word remix? Well, for me, it's music. Let's say that you have a proven or a well-known symphony of, let's say, Beethoven, which at this point is in the public domain, and you have a musician or a DJ who takes that and makes a dance, a house, a techno, a rap, a hip-hop version, dubstep, whatever. But they create another work that is based on the work of somebody else. So you can still hear the original work and you can see the sort of underlying threads, but it's actually a new work. The example that was given in the CC workshop is that of a smoothie, which is actually more toward that sort of defined end of the spectrum than a music remix. So what I'll do is I'll use the Creative Commons smoothie image by Nate Angel, which is what we used on the workshop to explain this. So you have a final product that you've created, the smoothie, and different components go into it: oranges, raspberries, bananas, fraules, strawberries, and pineapple. And when all these things go into a blender, when somebody takes a sip, they could probably guess what's in there by the consistency and the texture and the various tastes that pop. But they don't necessarily they can't really pick out, say, oh, this is the banana part or this is the orange part. It's all blended together. And as you can see from Nate's visual image here, different components can have different CC licenses, and they can be put together and remixed, or mixed in this case, blended, into something new. So how do you know what's compatible? And how do you know what can be the license that you slap onto your new creation, your new remix? Well, there are actually two very handy charts by the Creative Commons group. The first handy chart is this Creative Commons compatibility, blah blah blah, what? Cut that out. Compatibility license. So on the vertical column, you have one work that's to be remixed in the smoothie, and on the horizontal column, you have work number 2, and you can just follow the horizontals and the verticals to see what's compatible. So let's go back to Nate's picture, and let's say we want to take the pineapple, which is attribution, and the oranges, which are attribution, non-commercial, and share alike. So let's find attribution row, and then attribution, non-commercial, share alike. Oh, yep, they are compatible. Yes, we got a winner. Let's say if we wanted to do a different remix, let's say bananas and oranges, attribution, non-commercial, attribution, non-commercial, share alike. So attribution, non-commercial, and across to non-commercial. Yep, they are indeed compatible. Excellent. Next, what can I license this under? Well, if you take the status of the original work and then you remix it with something else, the adapter's license tells you what you can remix it under. So let's say if I take a by non-commercial, I can release my work under these licenses. Now, pay attention here. Green you're good to go. This is a license that's recommended, or that's possible, permitted, and you're fine. Yellow is technically permitted, but it's not really recommended. And gray just means no, you can't do it. Collection. Collection is actually the other end of the spectrum. What is a collection? What do you think about when you think of a collection? Well, what I think about are different types of sticker books. So when I was a kid, there were sticker packs that you could buy, sort of like baseball cards, and you got a free album. And the idea was, you wanted to wrap up and have a complete album of stickers. So these could be like soccer stars, baseball stars, cartoon stickers, musicians, whatever. And there were series. So here's an example of a fruit sticker collection with a lot of avocado stickers. And you can see that each of the particular stickers is intact. It's not been changed. It's as it was found on the fruit packaging, and this individual took them and put them into an album of a sort. Going back to Nate Angel's food-based analogies, what you see is each item can have a different Creative Commons license or be in the public domain, and each item doesn't touch their own discrete thing, but they are all together in a collection of this particular TV dinner. So how do you know what can be what you can license your collection under? Well, let me take a step back. Why would you need to license a collection? Well, the collection itself is kind of a creative work, but you can also put certain preambles. So if I go back to this fruit sticker collection, if I took all of the avocado product stickers and put them on one page and I arrange them in a very specific way, I could write a preamble and say that these stickers have been arranged in chronological order. This way you can see the evolution of the Haas avocado logo from the 70s to the 80s to the 90s. Or you can see how different regional producers market their avocados through their particular logos and graphics and so on. So I'm adding a little bit of an interpretive spin there to other people's work. But the work of other people is still individual. It's very segmented. You can actually pull it apart and say, okay, this is very particular to this particular Haas avocado logo, for example. As you can see from the collections license chart, commercial distribution or commercial CC licensing is much more restrictive, but non-commercial collections are actually much more permissive, and you can actually include a variety of or all types of licensed CC licensed work in a collection, in a non-commercial collection. So here are some sources and resources. Highly recommend the Creative Commons FAQ. This is where I found some of the information. And I'm actually going to ask you to chime in. Do you think that this particular presentation is a collection or a remix? I happen to think it's a collection, but if you think it's something else, do feel free to chime in the comments. Until next episode, see you later and keep on learning. Bye-bye.